Okay, this is an oldie from Roger's Rocker on the first album. And it goes like this.
Welcome to Sheer Pod Attack, a Queen song by song podcast.
Today's song is Modern Times Rock and Roll.
Welcome to the show. I'm Stephen Nicholson.
And I'm Paul Nicholson.
We're brothers from Edinburgh, Scotland, and our favourite band is Queen. Thanks for joining us as we take a weekly look at the band's music by critiquing each song in chronological order. Today, we get ready to talk rock with Modern Times Rock and Roll. So before we hear some facts about the song, let's rate it. So Modern Times Rock and Roll, Paul, is it top, middle, or lower tier Queen for you?
I would say top, actually.
We're going top, okay. I would go mid, okay, and we'll talk a bit more about the song shortly. And here's a question for you all out there in podcast land. At the end of the third verse of this song, someone shouts, "Look out." Who is that person? Is it 70s pop star Alvin Stardust, producer John Anthony, or is it Queen lead vocalist Freddie Mercury? Answer at the end of the show.
I lost my shoe.
Okay, time for the facts and nothing but the facts.
So Modern Times Rock and Roll was the third song on side B of the band's debut album, produced by Roy Thomas Baker, John Anthony and the band. The song was written and sung by the band's drummer Roger Taylor, his debut in the album. The band performed the song 128 times between 1974 to 77, with Freddie taking over the vocal duties live. The song was re-recorded on two occasions for the BBC. The first dates from December 1973 and was broadcast on John Peel's show. This version was eventually released on the 1989 album Queen of the Babe. The second re-recording dates from April 74 and was first broadcast on Bob Harris's show. This version was made available on the Queen On Air album.
Okay, thanks, Paul. And one of the things you shared there is live, Freddie sang this song. Obviously, Roger sings it on the album. Do you know the reasoning for that? Because I know that was quite a common thing for Queen to do, to kind of Freddie to take on the vocal duties for songs which maybe Brian May was the lead vocalist on the records. Any idea as to why?
I think it was, pretty much Freddie did all the vocals for all the songs, but apart from, you think of Roger, you think of I Love My Car, but I guess although he's doing a lot in I Love My Car, the timing of it's a bit like a waltz, whereas songs like this, like, it takes a lot out of you, just playing the drums, never mind singing. So I think that might have been the reason, that it's almost like precursor to punk, the way the song goes. So I think that's probably the reason that it would be too much to sing and do the drums.
What is Brian May's guitar made of? My guitar is made of bits and pieces, which some people would call junk. It's a piece of an old fireplace, which is the neck. It's a piece of oak, which came from a very old oak table that was in my dad's spare room. And the tremolo is made out of a piece of mild steel that I filed, but also the support from a saddlebag from a push bike, with a piece of my mum's knitting needle on the end. It's all the tremolo is balanced with motorbike valve springs from a 500cc Norton, I think. It was made out of bits because I couldn't afford a guitar. It's still what it was, and it still works, and it still exists.
Okay, so do you remember when you first heard the Modern Times Rock and Roll?
Yeah, just on the debut album, and probably years later it was almost like seen as stealing basically from Communication Breakdown by Led Zeppelin, which had come out a couple of years before. I don't really see it like that, to be honest, but I know that was the accusation at the time. And I just think it's a really good song, and it's a great first song for Roger, and the vocals are good. It's just showing you the versatility in the band. And he would kind of go on, and Brian May probably, from the next album up to 1980, they would, at least do the vocals on at least one song. And it's just a really good rocker, really. And that's what's great about Queen. You have something like the previous song, quite mellow, and you've got this, which is really fast. And That's why we love the band.
Absolutely, yeah. Just a good short rocker. So actually, I was thinking about this. This must be one of the band's shortest songs. I was under 2 minutes, yeah. As you say, it's raw, almost punky, and just a real change of pace and style to the other songs on the album, and it brings the energy of the album back up after the softer The Night Comes Down. And the lyrics on it are almost irrelevant. And obviously, yeah, you can definitely tell it's a Roger Taylor song. And I was thinking to myself, back in 1973, if you were listening to this for the first time, you must have been thinking, what's going on here? As Roger's vocals are so rough and abrasive compared to Freddie's, but the vocal delivery suits the song perfectly. And then obviously his songwriting and singing would be finessed over the subsequent years, as you mentioned, songs like I'm in Love with My Car or something like Sheer Heart Attack. So you got a favourite moment or moments on the track?
Actually, like, kind of giving away the next answer here, but I like the BBC versions or the live versions because of the way it ends. It's really quite good. It's quite heavy. So probably the end of the song on when it was done live or on the BBC, just how it's
Live.
quite heavy and like feedback and stuff. Yeah. So I'd probably say.
Yeah, I think my favourite part is, that's a good shout, actually. And I think, for me, I think my favourite part would be the actual chorus when they sing, Mountain, rock and roll. And you can actually barely make out that they're actually singing that particular line there. But yeah, that's really cool. So you've obviously been listening to the kind of BBC live versions there, but there are a couple of versions of the song available. The original from 73, 2024 mix on Queen 1, and there's several on the 2024 Queen 1 Collector's Edition. So I think you're saying the BBC session ones get your nod, yeah?
Yeah, I actually think there's maybe 3 versions on BBC.
Well, I know on the Collector's Edition, you get the BBC Session 3 and the BBC Session 4. I think Session 3 was 73 and Session 4 was 74, funnily enough.
It was very different, wasn't it? That one was very different.
They are
4.
very, yeah. Because, I mean, the 73 one, I like that because it's really, really good version. I think the treatment they give Roger's vocals on that and the harmonies is really, really good. It suits the song. My only criticism would be that maybe the band is a bit too low in the mix. Actually, one of the things is exactly the same as you. Love the live ending to the song. It's so good. But yeah, the 74 version is really weird. I think it's probably a better recorded version than Session 3.
Yeah.
But the song is played slower. It's much less high energy than the other versions and not as good because of that. It's weird, isn't it?
I wonder if that's because, I don't know, but I wonder if that's because they played it live and they were more, they'd got used to playing it in a different way. I mean, it was really fast live, but I wonder just that experience of playing it live and they sort of changed it and when they came back to record it again, the BBC.
But good, again, it's great to get these versions, isn't it? They've been lying in the vault, essentially, and now you've got them to listen to. And yeah, I suppose it was good that they would decide to do something different if they're coming back a year later. Let's do a slightly different version of it, for people. And do you prefer the 2024 version of the track, the remix over the original? What's your preference?
I'm going to stick with the original, actually, because I think
Right.
it's fast and heavy. I don't think it needs to be pumped up anymore.
Okay. I'll probably go the 2024 one as my favourite version. I think it's maybe a bit cleaner and more balanced, and the guitars perhaps sound a little bit sharper. I think also we got the Trident takes 8 and 9, which I think, again, just nice to hear some of the studio chatter between the band. But it's pretty much just an instrumental take. Again, nothing essential there to, certainly nothing to write home about. But yeah, I mean, jumping back to the difference between the 73 and 2024 one, just pulling out some of the big differences. The 2024 mix just has that bit more oomph. I think the Rogers vocals are maybe a bit more prominent and less distorted and the drums are maybe just that bit more impactful. But again, it comes down to personal choice about, I think, the way you're listening to it and what you prefer. But you're going with the original 73.
Yeah.
Okay.
Subscribe and follow us on social media.
So earlier on, we asked you, at the end of the third verse of this song, someone shouts, "Look out." Who was that person? And who was it, Paul?
John Anthony.
It was the producer, John Anthony.
So basically, I just want to be happy and make a lot of money and buy a lot of things.
So that was Modern Times Rock and Roll. Next week, we come back to look at talk about my favourite song from Queen, and that is Son and Daughter. So I'm very much looking forward to talking about it. So thanks to you for listening, and we hope you will rejoin us next week for Son and Daughter. Until then, take care.